Get this on the Triple M network.
Myself, Tony Martin, we've got Ed Cavalier, and of course Richard Marsden pushing buttons. You might know him as...
A bastard, adrift in a blizzard of cocaine.
Oh, I don't think that was the right clip. Angus Sampson's with us. He's ready to play the Guzzy Sampson name.
Passes the $50 bill, bro.
Now, look, the last time we did the Name Drop Challenge, one of our listeners rightly called up and gave us a big fat pay on air because we'd forgotten the rules to our own idea. The idea is you have to have met a celebrity yourself.
Well, hang on, Tony. That makes it hard.
Yeah, but
if you've seen
them, I don't mean like, you know,
you go around to their place.
been on the job with them.
No,
you know, bumping into them at the supermarket would be all right.
Okay, so you don't have to have had coffee or Devonshire tea with Terps. You can have just seen him walking down the street.
The first ever Logies I went to was I sat next to Ian Turpie
He's dropped one.
and Roy and HG.
Oh.
And during the Logies, Ian Turpie left. And he was trying to get Roy and HG to join him downstairs because he had a tip at the dish lickers in Adelaide. And he never returned. He never came back.
See,
Ian Turpie
Must have come in.
It is
First
amazing
Logies.
how Angus will have either have met the person, worked with them, or fewer links in the chain as possible, we'll get to that person.
I also got Kenny Rogers' autograph that night.
They're everywhere. Mr. Cavalier, throw something at him.
Well, mine were Kenny Rogers, Roy and HG and Terps.
What about a loose one? There's a photographer in the studio today whose name is Wayne.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, the other day I saw Wayne Arthurs, my favourite tennis player, who's now implicated in tennis fixing,
Yeah.
which for him meant that he may have won a game.
Exactly right, which was the jokes.
All the rest of the Australians implicated may mean they might have actually won a tennis match.
Wayne Arthurs, we can go better than that.
He's my favourite.
Mr. Marsden, quick, just drop one.
Okay, for some reason, I walked past him one day. Jack Black. Any Jack Black connection
Good one.
with the Hollywood thing happening?
Come on.
No.
Peter Jackson,
Yeah, Peter Jackson.
Tenacious D.
Philip Seymour.
I've met Dave Grohl, who was in
In the Tenacious D movie, and of
film
course
clip
played the
couple of
devil
times,
in their most famous video. There you
and he
go.
also did the soundtrack to the movie Touch.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
the
With,
Paul Schrader film.
certainly
Was
with,
that the one with Skeet
Ehrlich?
Skeet Ehrlich as
Christopher Walken.
Got the same, we have the same manager.
You and Skeet?
Skeet Ulrich's manager. The bar is very low indeed today.
No, I just
listeners.
made that up. He's with the same business manager. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Richard's paid that one. Listeners, it's your chance. If you've met, seen,
Sure.
encountered a celebrity, call up and match Guzzy.
I wouldn't mind some Mexicans because
Tino Puentes?
Tino Puentes, but because in my house this week it's Mexican week.
Okay.
Yeah, I read that in the paper.
It's Day of the Dead, November 1 for the Mexicans.
Okay.
But my lovely partner Mittens said, this week, Mexican week, we have to do everything Mexican. So I've got sombreros at home. I'm about to shave a moustache, dirty mo.
I can see where this
Lots
is going.
of Patron,
You've got
tequila.
you've got lots of heroin strapped to your body, which is nice.
And you're doing this work for cheaper than the other person.
Listeners,
I didn't laugh at that.
No, either did I. didn't mind it.
please, somebody call
was
up
wrong.
and drop
Sorry.
a name.
G'day, Mick.
Well, I had Van Damme and Kylie Minogue pretty much at the same time.
Oh,
Street Fighter style.
you just met them, I'm assuming. That's what
Take
you...
some homes down to the studios when they're doing Street Fighter.
Yep.
They use them for makeup rooms. And I'm just wandering around the hallways, as you do
Yep,
when you're on a movie set.
yep. You see
And
him.
I see this, I'm only 175, and Van Damme, I just saw this guy standing there having a bit of a meeting, and he's shorter than I am.
Yeah.
All right.
And so I just sort of stood there and was listening and agreeing with what they were saying until they asked me to leave.
Just agreeing with John Claude.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do the splits again. Yeah, do the splits again. I think
When
that's a
I walked
good idea.
outside, I was going to clean one of the motorhomes, and Kylie walked out.
Angus has had a
Okay.
chance to think. Can you...
Well, yeah, we were filming simultaneously at Channel 9 in Melbourne once, Kylie Minogue and I.
Okay, Kylie Minogue, sorted.
Now, with Jean-Claude Van Damme, I guess I've never met him, but I did watch a Current Affair episode where they had Angry Anderson hosting.
That is a stretch, even by your
Angry
standards.
Anderson hosting, but
Well, he was doing it was a Starlight Foundation or something, and one child's wish was to meet Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes.
And Angry was on set, and he burst into Jean-Claude's trailer, who was crouched over
Was he wearing a
He was
sock?
crouched over a desk.
Wearing a sock.
He was crouched over a desk, looking like he had just allegedly, consumed something nasally. And Angry Anderson ran up with this kid who was ill and was like, "Mr. Van Dam, this child wants to meet you." And Van Dam was so flustered, all he could do was
Roundhouse him?
to hold a high kick to his chin.
There you go.
Like hold his leg up in the air and like for a pose for a photo.
Well,
his-
okay.
Anyway,
seeing
Kylie
something,
Minogue, come on.
Seeing something on the telly, not good enough, but we will play Kylie Minogue. Thank you, Mick of Brisbane.
Good on you, Mick.
Next.
G'day, Paul. How are you?
Hey, Ed. Hey, guys. How you going?
Excellent. Lay out the challenge.
All right, well, if you don't mind, I'll also do it in a bit of an homage to you, Ed, while I'm eating my afternoon tea.
Fine with
Good
that.
on you.
Okay?
Fighting fire with fire. Excellent.
So the first time I ever met a celebrity was in LA Airport, and I met Harry Anderson from Night Court.
Night Court.
Harry Anderson.
And I couldn't mistake him because he had the hat on and, the judge from Night Court. Yeah,
we
so
know who he is.
he had the hat on.
Okay, well, Guzzy is looking stumped.
That's the previous generation to me.
What about John Larroquette? Have you ever met him from Night Court?
I haven't. No,
Haven't met
I did
him?
like Bull though. Was that his
the
name? Bull, the
security
shaky
guard.
guy.
Did like another character. Very poor. I think this man, Paul, has stumped him.
Good job, Paul.
No, that's. Can we screen these before they ring up?
Sorry.
I wish I knew
do.
more. If I knew more cast members from Night Court, I reckon we'd do it.
I've never seen an episode other than I just remember the Bull guy.
But Harry Dean Stanton was in an episode.
Ah, yes.
Any luck?
I've seen Parrots, Texas.
Oh, it's just he's reduced to saying I've seen things.
F. Murray Abram?
Timothy Stack?
Nah.
No.
I mean, let's get some people without integrity.
Okay. Hi, Richard. How are you?
Yep, no integrity here whatsoever. G'day,
Excellent
boys.
work. Lay out the challenge, my friend.
I was walking down, or actually not walking, sitting down having breakfast along South Bank, and who should come in but Mr. Hinch, Darren Hinch.
There you go.
Worked with Darren.
Really?
Yeah. He was a guest on a program I used to act Greek on called Greeks on the Roof.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And Darren, I remember the one thing that I do recall most about Darren was that he's written a book on Scrabble, how to play Scrabble.
Didn't know that.
And he also changed shoes for the first time in his life, where he'd gone from a certain shoe to black R.M. Williams, and he couldn't stop raving about the black R.M. Williams.
Okay, it's very impressive. I still haven't forgotten the Night Court debacle, but I'll pay that. Darren Hinch's Scrabble book.
Yeah, he wrote.
Shame, alphabet shame. That's the title of it. Well, let's have one more crack.
Okay, Travis, how are you?
Okay, I met David Prowse.
Oh,
Darth Vader.
the man who physically played Darth Vader but didn't do the voice. Where did you meet him?
I actually met him here in Melbourne back in the 80s, just after OSAT was launched. They had a little exhibition about space, and he was the guest star because they couldn't get any astronauts, of course.
That's very poor.
They're all up in space.
Okay,
Okay.
David Prowse.
I just finished a film with the costume makers
yeah.
who made the mask for the last 3 Darth Vaders. The Elsies.
Mr. Marsden has paid that. Worked with the people who make the costume for Darth
Yeah, well,
Vader.
they made Darth's.
Mark Hamill.
Well, I
What
can
about-
tell you
what-
this
what
for
about
the
Mark
Star
Hamill?
Wars fans. I can tell you this is that they are developing a TV series.
Yeah, he can tell us
new
something
version
he
of
read in the
Farscape.
Herald Sun. We can't
No
pay
way!
that.
I know this. You guys are.
He's lost it. All right, that's well done. I think we've had two. Well,
What about Greedy Smith? I've got the best of mental as anything.
Well, that is a winner.
Paul certainly deserves a prize from earlier.
Getting something.
Thanks for playing the challenge, everybody. I don't see how you get from Darth Vader to Greedy Smith. I'm going to try and put that together during this song. Yeah, that'd be Ben Lee. Here at Get This Around the Nation on Triple M, catching us with our pants down again. So many emails to get through. And, of course, Angus Sampson is here.
I've worked with Ben a few times.
Yeah, okay. We just did the name drop challenge, and we've tried to get somebody from Star Wars. Darth Vader is who we were looking for, David Prowse, and he's dropped Greedy Smith.
I mean,
And I've gone, what's that about? And then I've thought about it for the whole song, and then I've realised he's talking about the character of Greedo. That is the most tenuous link in 2 years, Angus. Pathetic.
I apologise.
Now, I just wanted to fuse something that's going on in the papers at the moment. Richard Marsland in a dress is not Rove's new love.
I'd like to be, though.
would you?
Yeah.
You realise
Do you
you
yearn for his warm embrace,
You
Rich?
said that aloud, Richard, on the radio.
Oh, that's right. It's a big stick.
Yeah.
Hey? a big one. Hey?
How many sketches have you got on Rove this week?
On Rove.
Yeah, come on.
Well, it's not on this week because the Arias are happening.
Oh,
Got any
right.
sketches in the Arias?
I might have a few gags possibly in the Arias. I've
You
sent a
wrote,
few away.
you wrote Red Fingernails, White Wine, didn't you, for Eskimo Joe last year?
Yeah, I did that. I wrote One Crowded Hour.
Did you write One Crowded Hour?
I wrote that.
That was one of yours.
Transmission Vamp, you wrote all their songs, I remember.
I'm writing some great James Blundell meeting Operator Please gags.
you
That
really?
probably won't happen.
I still can't find out what jokes he wrote on Newstopia this week.
He won't tell us.
He's come in this morning, he's finally watched the tape. How blasé is that?
Well, the thing being is that my parents have been over and I've been slightly distracted.
Yeah, and I've
Are
gone...
they putting on HMAS Pinafore every night at your place? The Marslins present.
Because, you know, if you've
But
got...
your dad plays all the women and your mum plays all the men.
Yeah.
It's amazing production.
If you got some jokes on
Sorry.
a national TV show, wouldn't you know which ones they were?
I would.
It's like, I don't know which ones they use.
It's like when he used to write for Pluck a Duck.
Have you noticed a lot of the announcers around the network are getting behind us?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Even directing people to that petition at petitionspot.com.
Oh, that's nice.
I just don't want people to think this is some kind of elaborate publicity stunt that we've organised.
Oh, really?
We wouldn't toy with the listeners' emotions like that. Don't worry. That's not
No.
what's going on. It's all news to us.
Pleasant surprise coming into, like hearing that on the radio.
No, we've got huge support here at Triple M.
Someone wrote up on Petition Spot, "Hi everyone, I'm the daughter of Otto Pfister and Anal Mystery."
Oh.
Yes, my name is Anal Pfister and she supports the show.
If you've never heard the show before, we don't have the time to explain that.
Best of luck.
Not gratuitous at all, though.
No.
Pete Smith put a comment up this morning.
Brilliant.
Simply said, Pete Smith speaking.
That's
So,
nice.
Fantastic work.
Just allowing people to know he's on board. The scallop industry is really the blame for this.
They
people.
really-
That is the thugs in the scallop industry. They had a crack at Rex, couldn't knock him off his perch, and now they've come for the weaker target.
Still brought to you by the Nissan Navara, the Ute of the
Ah.
year. Although it's so much more than just a Ute.
It's everything.
But let's fire it up in the studio,
You
Rich.
sure?
With you.
Can you handle it?
Crank it up and hope you've got the handbrake on this time because you just... Yeah, that's it. Give it a bit, Rich.
You want a bit more?
Come on. Oh, yeah. Show it who's boss. You can do it, Rich. Very nice. Now, you've got to watch it. Rich. Oh! He's backed into the Triple M duck sanctuary.
Oh, no.
People want ducks.
They do want ducks.
Thank you very much, Silo.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
One of our duck
Thanks very much,
delivery
ducks.
listeners, Silo. Hello, if you're listening, and everyone down there at Duck Deliveries. Gee, there's so much to talk about. Like I say, people are getting behind us here at the station.
Very happy.
It's amazing. They're promoting the petition. I said, what's that about? What's that about? I asked someone in the corridor, and he said, mate, it's about owning the controversy.
Oh, that's nice.
Strategic, apparently.
I saw some people getting Marslin tattoos, which were nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's a special kind of commitment.
Just their face.
Really getting their arms around it.
Yeah. And so many requests to hear our fabulous co-hosts. And, you know, that's one of the tricky things. After today, there's only 20 shows to go. We've got something like 55 ex-co-hosts to get through here.
Wow.
I mean, somebody's going to have to stand in the foyer.
A Royal Rumble, you suggesting,
Yeah,
Tony?
maybe a SmackDown.
Oh,
Bring
yeah.
back the Triple M SmackDown between
good
the
idea.
co-hosts.
Okay, I got an idea. Two co-hosts like stand outside the studio.
Yeah.
Both-
Guzzy Sampson, Lockie Hume.
Okay, then they go, all right, here's a weapon, and you just throw them like a weapon, whether a crowbar, a bottle, a prisoner DVD, and it's a fight, not to the death, but to a maiming, and whoever's still standing comes in and does the hour.
Okay. It's elaborate.
All right, Monday, it's George McEncrow versus...
Yeah, who?
I was going to say George the Animal Steel, but we've never had him in.
Not for want of trying, though.
The cast of Young Lions.
What was Young Lions? We'll ask Andrew Mercado in the next hour. That's what we'll do
it's a
there.
good idea, though.
Just trying to locate the website, the petition spot. Save, get this petition.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure how many it's up to. Let's cross to the tally room.
2000,
Right.
2003, 2004, 2005, 2006,
Gee, it's moving.
2007,
Right.
Wow.
2008, 2009, 2010.
Yeah. He's behind the times. I'm assured by our producer, Nicky. He's up to 4,553.
Thank you very much.
Every comment a zinger. What have we got now?
Well, news, Tone.
Yeah?
Yes, sporting news. And,
You didn't seem too certain about how this was going to go just before we went to it.
Yeah, I'm still not, Tone.
Okay, what is it?
To be honest. Look, can I just say in advance of this, it's been lovely working with you both. And please make sure you come and visit me within whatever litigation it is that I'm into. Alan Jones says he may be interested in becoming head coach of the Wallabies again.
Yes.
He allegedly said he's never really stopped head coaching and looks forward to really getting on top of the players and riding them hard. Under his regime, the team will focus less on ruck and mauls and more on...
Go and stand in the Bob Franklin room.
Come on.
You and Franklin stand outside if that's the path we're heading down.
Football coach.
All right, I guess that's valid.
All right. Jeez,
that it?
guys. Yeah.
Oh, that is it?
Yeah, that is it. You expecting something worse?
I thought it was about 7 or 8 of those.
Oh, no.
We were gonna... Oh, it's almost here. The weekend.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? Bust a wide stance in a cubicle?
I don't know. What are the kids into? Let's top up your superannuation.
Yes. Snort crushed up burger rings.
Right away for tickets to be in the audience of the ABC's Can't We Help?
Wear a sweat around your shoulders.
Finish constructing that shrine to Dame Judi Dench out of Volavons.
Read NSYNC liner notes.
Find out what Volavons are.
Watch Blankety Blanks on DVD.
Why not? Re-enamel your tartan thermos.
Thatch a thicket to your jacksie.
Thatch a thicket to your jacksie. Yep. Don't do that, listeners.
I think that's a key phrase.
Even if you know what it is, don't go doing that. Okay, so we're looking for exciting stuff to do on the weekend. Ed Cavalier, what are you going to do this weekend?
Well, Tony Martin, I'm going to be in Vegas.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Well, Tony, gratuitous plug time. Squid is a movie that I may or may not be involved in at the end of the year.
Oh, you're saying the feature-length version. That'll reverse that meat pie bad buzz.
Listen to this guy. So bitter about bad eggs, he's trying to drag us down. Look at this guy. Oh, dear. Look, Tone, it's a fundraiser, etc., etc. Lawson's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Richard's there, jumping out of a cake, nude. Cost a bit of cash, but, join me in the cubicles. Whatever. All right.
Okay.
That's if you're in Brisbane.
Are you seriously telling me there's going to be a feature-length Squid?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, it's 2 blokes sitting on a boat in a river for 4 minutes. I mean, expansion possibilities.
Think of My Dinner with Andre on a boat.
Okay, that's one for
Meets Anaconda.
Sure. Very big, the My Dinner with Andre demographic, the Triple M listeners, of course. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend the weekend reading our listeners' emails. You got the touch. Because there are so many of them.
What's happening on the
And
email,
I can't bring myself to throw any of them away or jump too ahead because you'll miss gold.
I know, Tone.
Listen to the kind of things we're getting from people. This is from Gareth Mohan. He lives in Bustleton, WA. Or rather, he lives in Perth, has to take a 3-hour drive to Bustleton every weekend, listens to our podcasts all the way. Good. Now, Bustleton. I did some research on Bustleton for my book, Lolly Scramble, and discovered an interesting fact. It's got the highest recorded levels of hemochromatosis in the world.
Okay, good.
One in, I think, like 180 people has iron storing disorder, has record iron levels.
So that would explain the mining boom.
There you go, quite possibly.
Man.
Or could it explain that also Bustleton is the home of the World Ironman competition? How's that for a coincidence? It's literally the home of the World Ironman competition. That's what I discovered.
Involuntary one.
But listen to this bloke. He's from there. He was in JB Hi-Fi the other day, and he heard Richard Marsden doing the Venga Bus song.
How?
Everyone in JB started dancing along like they were in an ad or something.
The Venga Bus is coming, and everybody's running from north to Ibiza in the Mediterranean sun.
Hello to anyone dancing in a shop right now.
So who's got a recording of that? Who's busting it out?
That was on our show. They were playing our show in JB, apparently.
I see, right.
Okay, because of all the nerdish DVD talk.
There it is.
All right, that's going to be a great weekend.
Not bad, Rich.
These emails are fantastic. What are you going to do, Rich?
On Saturday night, I'm going to a Deadwood party.
Oh, man.
Wow, how does that end?
By yourself?
Well, I'm dressing as a pig, so you can guess how it will end.
Oh, who's dressing as Woo?
Yes. Well, it was either Woo or a pig.
Okay. Surely you're going to get everyone as Al Swearingen. Surely everyone's going to have that 3-piece suit on.
It's a general cowboy look, but when I got the invitation, it said, dress as your favourite Deadwood character, so I just thought maybe the members of Get This.
Okay.
Xander, what are you doing on the weekend?
I'm taking care of drunks at the Cox Plate.
All right. Is this something you do every year, Xander?
No, this is the first year I've done it, actually.
Right, and what's your approach going to be?
I don't know. I'm going to tell them to lie down and not vomit on me.
Yeah, what was Lawrence?
Best of luck.
Lawrence Mooney's advice for dealing with drunks as a cab
Get
driver?
them to help you.
Ask for their help to do something.
That works. I've tried that, actually.
Well, you just need to be halfway through building a cubby house or something and get all the drunks to chip in.
Yeah, you just have to just take a project with you.
That's a good idea.
I know you piss, but please, look, how does this join to that?
There'll be lots of women with sick on their dresses and carrying their shoes.
Oh, here's hoping. Here's hoping.
That's what they say in those ads.
Spring Carnival. Thank you. What did you say?
I was just going to say, or as you call it, fresh meat.
Don't blame me for that. That was you. He just called the girls at the races fresh meat.
No,
Did you hear that?
Somebody did, listeners.
Unbelievable.
One of them did. You know what it's like in here. Who's next?
Hi, Jared. How are you?
Good, guys. Yourself?
Well, a little scared of Richard. What are you up to this weekend?
Similar vein to the last caller, I've actually got my best mate's Bucks party, so we're heading down to the Yarra Valley picnic races.
So, Jared, you are going to be the drunks.
I'll be encouraging everyone to vomit as much as they can. That's the sign of a good Bucks day, I reckon.
What have you got in the way of new material, though, for that?
Well, I don't want to give too much away because we've got about 30-odd blokes going, and I reckon there'll be quite a few listening, but we've got a few little tricks up our sleeves, a couple of raffles, and actually we've got a few booby prizes, and one of them is actually a CD single that I picked up for $2 yesterday, which is the Venga Boys, the Venga Bus, We Like to Party. So
Fantastic.
That's one of the main attractions, I think. But we're going for the bit of a Tour de France sort of theme, so we'll have the yellow jerseys and...
Jared, you put a lot of work into this. I think you've put more work into this than they have for the Arias. They should be broadcasting this.
Well, I'm recently unemployed, so I've had a couple of weeks to do absolutely nothing but just wait for this.
Well, see you there soon, man.
See you there in 4 weeks.
Give us a call on Monday, Jared. Tell us how it ends up. Well, if you can, reach us from wherever you end up.
And I love how when he mentioned the Venga Bus song, I nodded at Rich and he just shook his head back at me.
Censorship on the radio.
Who's next?
G'day, Rowan. How are you?
Poker game with the boys and with a topless waitress to serve the drinks.
Well.
At the art gallery, is it, Rowan?
Yeah. Yeah, very top shelf, mate.
And how exactly does one go about booking a topless waitress for a poker game?
Mate, you've got to know the right people. You ring up, you ask for one, a very classy lady, and she might come out if you look after her right.
Isn't that lovely, Rowan?
They haven't taken that approach on the World Poker Tour.
Not yet.
I think I saw Hulk Hogan playing poker topless.
Okay.
This flap top pair.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
That's not pretty.
Please just stop mucking around. Hit the applause. Let Andrew Mercado speak.
Good to see you.
Always got so much to say.
Oh, yeah. Now, you remember the first time I was here
Yes.
and one of your listeners said he wanted to see the Leyland Brothers on DVD.
I don't know why, but he was very keen on that idea.
Well, I'm here to tell him it's actually out.
Hang on.
Wow.
Look at him.
In fact, if you go to YouTube, youtube.com/OzJourney, OZ, there's actually classic clips of the Leyland Brothers now to renew your interest.
And I notice on the back of this DVD it says exempt from classification. What does that mean?
Well, one would suggest, I think it's because it's so inoffensive, there's nothing there that could get a language, nudity or violence rating,
Andrew,
correct?
the classification board didn't want to sit through it. That's what's going on here.
We can't just put exempt from classification. No one will get to the end of that anyway. But, I hope.
But what constitutes a classic clip of the Leyland Brothers?
Well, something in a four-wheel drive going over a sandhill. I
There
reckon.
it is. Yeah. Seeing a lizard?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, it's 2 discs. There's obviously stuff on there.
Oh, blimey.
Now, Andrew, what is behind you? You've brought in a
what's
bag.
in the bag today?
I've brought a bit of horror for you guys today.
Yes.
Some of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
Oh,
scary,
yeah, very good, actually.
Gotta love that one.
Much better than you'd think.
One of my favourites here is Die Screaming Mary Ann.
Oh, yeah.
It's Suzanne George as a go-go dancer.
Right.
Being
Suzanne George
stalked.
from Straw Dogs.
Straw Dogs, exactly.
That's
so I'm
not-
liking the sound of that.
It's not exempt from classification.
No, that's got all sorts of warnings on it.
Oh, Suspiria.
Well, it's my favourite because the tagline on it is, the only thing more terrifying than the last 12 minutes of this film is The first 83.
Oh,
now that's a tagline, right?
That's Dario Argento classic from the Italian cinema. I
Yeah.
think with very loud music by Goblin. I think you'll find
is that right?
that's you can't turn your stereo
Look,
all the way
this is
up.
all fine, Andrew. You know what? This is your horrors, your Leyland brothers, all this. This is all fine. Let's get to the real topics.
Yes.
Two-way mirror.
Oh, yeah.
The pilot. You said you'd bring me a copy.
And you know, the comedy of errors in my DVD recorders, I actually put the two-way mirror into my laptop computer to make you a copy. It got stuck in there. I had to send my laptop computer to the shop
Oh
to
dear!
get it out.
Yeah, right.
All
What
right.
did you say? What did you say to them? I was dubbing it for a friend.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the two-way mirror, we talked about this last time, a very raunchy Australian TV pilot, just based on. Well, upskirting, it seemed to be.
Yeah.
For a whole half hour.
An excuse of full-time nudity. But can I tell you, we talk about the raunchiest shows on Australian TV, and we've got Number 96 and Chances and all of that. I have seen the all-time raunchiest show ever, and it begins on Showtime December 1.
Now you see it?
No, Melbourne show filmed about a brothel. It's called Satisfaction.
Oh, yes, I've got some friends in this.
My goodness.
Is that
Is
right?
it full on?
It is so raunchy.
Really?
We are talking full frontal nudity, male
What?
and female. In fact, sometimes just bottom nudity, keep the top on.
Is that right?
That's a first.
That'll
isn't it?
catch on.
How do you get that in your contract?
I'm not taking this hat off. Downstairs
The
is
monocle
yours.
stays. The monocle stays. Now, sorry, Tone, but
Yes.
when I'm thinking about television, I turn to Andrew Mercado's fantastic book, Super Aussie Soaps. That's where I read about your two-way mirror.
It's a Bible, that one.
Now, what I want to ask you about today, Mr. Mercado,
Yes.
is something called Holiday Island.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember it, Rich?
I remember hearing about it. I don't think I saw any episodes.
Yeah,
Either
they
did
ran
anyone
it
else.
recently at about maybe like 5 years ago.
Okay.
At sort of 4 in the morning.
They're still playing it for regional viewers who get Win Television at
Reach.
3 a.m. in the morning. Maybe.
Reach.
They're serving the Reach, aren't they?
Up against Rosethorn, and can we help? Because the bit I wanted to ask you about, it's meant to be set on a holiday island.
Correct.
But it was filmed in what is described as wintry Melbourne.
Yeah.
In winter.
Well, actually set on a Barrier Reef Island in northern Queensland, filmed in Melbourne, but, you know, why start filming in summer when you can do it in the middle of winter?
There it is.
And what year? This is like early 80s, I think, 82, 83.
81.
Oh, wow.
And it says here in your book that the actors had to suck on ice cubes.
They did.
So that their breath didn't have like the dragon breath.
You can actually see in the pilot when Rebecca Gilling is speaking the cold that is coming out of her mouth as she speaks in a bikini around the pool.
That is
it's
great.
quite visible.
That is great.
It's sizzling
And
hot here on
you
Holiday
do know what
Island.
happened to the pool at Holiday Island, don't you?
Man, oh man?
No, it became the Lake of Lassiter's in Neighbours.
Yeah, see, now we're learning. Now
Yeah.
we are learning. Ed, ask him something.
Have you been to that TV buying conference in Cannes, is it?
MIPCOM.
Yeah. Have you ever been over there to that?
I've never been there, but I've worked with a lot of people who go to it, and I see all the brochures when they bring it back, and it would be my idea of heaven.
Now, it's just like Rich and I have an idea for a show where, you know, he marries farm animals. So we go over there and we just sit at a table.
You print a glossy brochure.
Okay.
Really glossy.
Really glossy.
Okay, with like a picture on the front, and it's your concept, and you put, 13 times 1 hour.
And people
Bit of a synopsis, and people from all around the world are going around looking to shop for TV concepts, either to buy shows or to remake it in their own country.
Amazing.
All right, that's answered. Here's one for you, Andrew. Did you see Viva Lachlan that you were referring to earlier?
I did. I watched the first episode on Monday night, and what's interesting is that Channel 9, who said they pulled the show, like American CBS, have actually relented and are going to screen episode 2
Is that right?
at 10:30 on Monday night to give everyone a chance to see if the New York Times was correct in describing it the worst show in the history of television, which, by the way, I think is a little bit rough.
That's right.
What, nobody remembers My Mother the Car? Come on.
There's a lot to choose from, but it is... I mean, in the original Viva Blackpool...
Yeah.
Good show.
Why did it work there and not here? What's the reason?
Well, I'm not sure. I haven't seen Viva Lachlan, but Blackpool certainly had this great underlying darkness to it in this carnival atmosphere. And the songs were really good. They're like Smith songs and Elvis songs.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it's a song choice. I'm not sure. I didn't see Viva Lachlan. I'm not sure if they're
No
classics.
darkness in Hugh Jackman's one. Very, very candy-coloured, lightened it up for America.
And people who saw it told me it was like a soap opera. That was the problem. It wasn't a drama with songs.
Yeah.
It was a soap soap opera with songs.
But you know what? If you're a fan of Melanie Griffith,
Yeah.
and I am, to see her lip syncing to Deborah Harry from Blondie and speaking in that squeaky voice she does, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, at least the lips can still sync.
Yeah.
Because there's a carnival atmosphere going on as soon as she wanders on, isn't there, really? Makeup by Ringling Brothers. But, okay, question for the man.
I guess if we're talking Australian TV shows, is there any word yet on classic kids game shows coming back? I might have mentioned Now You See It, where you could win a computer for your school.
Thinking Double Dare, Rich?
Yeah, Double Dare.
Yeah.
Matchmates, can we put the pieces together?
See, the problem,
Amazing.
Surely, Andrew, the problem here is who wants to watch a whole lot of episodes of a game show?
Exactly.
But what would be good would be some kind of compilation.
I agree. One collection with one of everything.
Outstanding.
Just to refresh your memory.
And also, I'm a big town like Dallas fan. The midday shows.
Yes.
Will they ever release a box set?
Well, actually, it's already in stores now. The Best of the Ray Martin Show has a special feature, and it is The Town Like Dallas, which was the soap opera spoof send-up written by and starring Gretel Colleen.
Is that right? You see, this man knows it all. Call with your question.
G'day, Wayne.
Andrew, I was wondering, is Spy Force available on DVD at all?
Yeah, you know what? We're talking about it right now. Because Spice Force was actually made in the 60s, there's actually nothing in the contracts back then, for actors to get residuals or repeats. So we can release it and sell millions of copies, and Jack Thompson ain't going to get a cent.
What do you remember about Spy Force, Wayne?
I just remember I used to watch it when I was a kid, like it used to be on late at night. It was such a great show, for its time.
Now, as I understand it, that was Russell Crowe's first screen appearance playing a young orphan in
I
one
believe
episode.
so. And then he played a little boy in The Young Doctors, which is going to be on The Young Doctors Volume 2, his episode. Just so we can see what he looked like when he was young and weedy. And
was he still a bit surly?
Yeah, surly.
You bastard sons, you orphans. Was it one of those speeches? I hope so.
Thank you, Wayne.
Spy Force coming soon. Who's next?
G'day, Will. How you going?
I was just wondering, did Yasmin ever get married?
Well, I don't think we ever did hear that. Channel 10 never did ever get round to it. They cancelled it after 4 episodes, I believe.
Wow.
Cancelled it on the Thursday night, put the repeat of The Simpsons back in on the Friday night. If you released that on DVD, it'd be hilarious because you could track down Renee, because if you remember, the show was going to be called Renee's Getting Married.
Right.
But in the pre-production, she met someone and went and got married.
Okay. Hope that answers your question, Will. Great questions. Who's next?
G'day, Lachlan.
I'm not sure if this show actually existed or not, but my girlfriend swears by it. It was the 80s and 90s, and it had the Rain Brothers in it, and they were in like a garage band, apparently.
I know what you're thinking of.
Sweet and Sour?
Yeah, it's David Rain and Tracy
just one of
Mann.
them?
Yeah, just the one.
Yeah.
Although in the 80s they were kind of interchangeable, weren't they, James and
That's
David?
right. That's right. Travel all over the countryside. It's the Rain Brothers, but no.
What was that show called, do you know?
Sweet and Sour.
Oh,
and
that's good.
You know what? We keep asking the ABC what's going on with it. They would be crazy if they didn't release that because a lot of people remember it. A lot of famous pop stars of the day played themselves in it.
Yes.
In Sweet and Sour, if you remember. And they released 2 soundtrack LPs. It was a big, big hit in the day.
And did David Rain not star in a telly movie called Shark's Paradise?
Oh, yeah.
And was that going to be like Australia's Miami Vice?
Yeah.
What happened there? What went wrong?
I don't know. Maybe the fact that there was an American black guy on Surfers Paradise and they had computerized sharks biting tourists to destroy the Gold Coast.
Hang on a second. They had computerized sharks when? In the mid-80s?
In the mid-80s, yeah.
Were they just blocks?
They had no. They had done something to the sharks to make the sharks deliberately attack tourists, and if you didn't pay them $1 million, then everyone who went into the water at Broadbeach was going to get attacked.
Man with box of killer sharks.
And why didn't that show work? It's amazing, isn't it?
We say it every time. Are there enough blank discs? One final inquiry, please.
Hello, Ash.
Do you reckon there's any chance they might ever bring out a DVD box set of that cartoon that was on Channel 2, The Cities of Gold?
I used to love that show, Ash.
Cities of Gold.
How good was it?
It was so good. Cities of Gold.
Andrew seems to only know the shows when there's real people in them.
Yeah, I'm not big on the cartoons.
Ash, it was on in the afternoon show, wasn't it? In the Michael Tunn days?
Oh, right.
Oh, no, I think it was pre that. It might have been...
Eden Gahar.
Eden Gahar. Fresh from Vidiot.
Yeah, maybe.
Or James Valentine.
No.
James Valentine, yeah, that's it, man.
Ray
Yeah.
Burgess, Flashes.
It was between.
Does he?
Was it between Degrassi and Vidiot?
It was.
Yep.
It was because Degrassi used to kick the afternoon off, and geez, there were some issues in that one. And then we go over to the Cities of Gold with the kiddies looking for the gold, and then straight into Vidiot.
All right, those certainly were the days. Hope that's
Halcyon
helped
days.
you to some extent, Ash.
But Ash, I think there is. I had read somewhere on a blog. I'm not a loser. That they were planning to release this in America. So have a look around because I think it was coming out.
Sweet, Amazon it is. No worries.
There you go.
Okay, there are so many more inquiries to go, but I think we have music.
Do it again.
We have to play music at some point on Get This.
Oh, hello. This is Gary Numan here, from Chubby Army. That was us. You might remember a couple of little tunes. They were the Friends Electric. That was quite a big hit for us.
This week on Behind the Rock, synth rock pioneer Gary Numan recalls his dizzying rise and fall from Our Friends Electric to We Are Glass.
Also, we did Cars. Are we getting about in cars? Is that us? Getting about in cars. That were very popular. We did Down It Park. A lot of synthesizers and, you know, bloody Dry Ice, all that carry on. Bloody Perspex Pyramids. I will, you know, recalling in horror from them. I don't know what that was bloody about. Anyway, what else did we do? Oh, God. What were the other ones? Oh, yeah. Oh, God, how could I forget? We did We Are Glass. And then we Misguided. You know, it's a bit of a to-do over that. People saying, you know, cars, you know, getting about in cars. That's fine. We accept that. You know, we might even, you know, let you off with a warning on bloody Friends being electric. But, mate, you know, we're clearly not glass. You're backing up wrong tree. You know, leave it. It's not going to happen. We never were glass. We're not going to be glass. So, you know, we were sent off paddock.
Behind the Rock with Gary Numan.
Well, you know, I don't know. You know, sometimes I wonder, you know, are we glass? I mean, you know, maybe I was onto something. But no, we're not glass. I've come to accept that now.
And Phil Oakey of the Human League reveals when he knew the pirate shirt party was over.
You know, it's pretty f***ing simple, isn't it? Do you not want me? You're working in a f***ing cocktail bar when I found you. Do you not want me? That's all it is. Love action. Love action. It's f***ing easy. Anyone can follow it, right? Get around town to what? Sound of the bloody crowd, innit? So what, you know, what's with the f***ing Lebanon? You're not dancing in a f***ing disco. You know, a bit of love action. And then, oh, hang on. What do you think about what's going on over in the Lebanon? You're not doing that. What would you do that for? So, you know, it was played down here from there, wasn't it?
The greatest voices of the new romantic period tell it like it was, and then suddenly wasn't, in Synth's You Been Gone, this week on Behind the Rock. Get this at the new time of 2 o'clock.
Or in Adelaide, 3 o'clock.
On the Triple M Network.